Okay, I'm back here. Last night we were trying to recruit for Weiss. I brought a friend with me to do some voices and discuss some. So everyone say
Hello.
hi to Mzee.
Hello there.
Yay. Okay, let's go for Meat Nasty. Who do you want to do?
Um, let's see. I guess I'll do the Duke guy.
Yay.
Um, and who else? I can do Lancelin or what was their name? Oh, it was their name.
Yeah, Sarah Lancelin, yeah.
Yeah, Lancelin.
You're gonna do the Mirtnesta crew.
Yeah.
I have a voice for Weiss. I'm just gonna do the same voice as for Blake.
Fair enough.
Can you do Glinda?
Oh, that's gonna be a train wreck. I'm not very good at voices. Okay, let me. My voice is a bit deep, in case you hadn't noticed. So,
But I want Glinda with a British accent. I can't do British accent. I can't even do English accent.
I can't do British accent.
You're fucking British.
Not that British. My Britishness is sparse at best.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. Glinda then. Communication with that plane has been sparse as of last year. According to Torchwick, the flow of dust from them to us has almost run dry.
Maybe there have been troubles with the Grim too.
That doesn't matter. We need to re-establish trade with them and get them communicating with us again.
It might be hard. Didn't the last guy they sent through kind of die? Oh yeah, they did say that living matter can go through the portals, right? So I'm guessing that's what happened.
Oof.
On the same night as my parents.
I guess that must have been while the portals were still up, maybe.
I mean, either that or the parents died and it automatically closed the portals.
Oh, no. The portals can be used by living things as long as there's a rose on the throne. That's why.
Yeah, but like, imagine if the parents got killed like 3 minutes before the guy got in. And
Yeah,
you were like, yeah, it's going to
that's-
be good. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what happened.
Eesh. Yeah, probably. Well, between our stellar good looks and your charming queenly nature, it should be easy, right?
Keep in mind, on the return trip, you will appear outside the Curia.
You can control where a person winds up. Should I do Ospin or do you want to do Ospin?
I'll try and do Osman.
Believes in me, who believes in you?
Okay. Our plane doesn't approve of non-royalty or those outside the Curia gazing upon the portals.
He peers at Young over his spectacles.
With a few exceptions, of course, for those closest to the Queen. Controlling where one exits also prevents potential enemies from coming through the portal directly into the heart of the Curia.
I see.
We'll set up a greeting party for you outside, don't worry.
Does Korea actually mean anything in English? Because I didn't look it up, but...
I assume it has a meaning, but I don't know it.
Like, I just kind of assumed it was like a made-up name, the same way Mirtnaster and shit. So...
I mean, I'm assuming it's a real word for something, but I've never come across it. Obscure words generally sound cooler in fictional settings, so...
Yeah, that's true. I'll look it up later.
Yeah. You won't be zapped away to the furthest reaches of the plane, I think. Glinda actually says, well, probably.
I fucking love it. Glinda is a gift in this fucking game.
Glinda is treated how she should be in canon.
Yeah. Actually, fun fact, when I watched Moo play the game, like the beginning of the game, I didn't get to see them play the end of it. But when the second Glinda appeared, Moo was like, okay, Glinda is evil.
Don't do that to Glinda. She's don't do that to her. She is good.
She is, but I really like how she's fucking chaotic as shit. Like,
Yeah.
she makes it clear she's not here for you, she's not here for the kingdom, she's here for Aspin.
Yeah. Have you ever read Awful Hunt?
I did not.
I've not finished it, but it's really good. Glinda slash Cinderfic, basically, written by the same artist who did the
Ruby Quest?
Ruby Crest, and also the art of Glinda here. And to get you interested, Cinder has horns in this fic.
I am really interested.
Except that she basically files them down, like sands them down, so you can't see them until they start growing out again.
I'm still interested.
I dropped it because I read it up to its current update, and then it got finished ages ago, and I never picked it up again. But it was really well written, as you would expect from Broncho.
Yeah, they do good shit.
They do fun. Yeah, really good quality shit. I mean, anyone watching this who hasn't read Ruby Quest as well, like, get on that already. What are you waiting?
Honestly, Ruby Quest is fucking good, my dude.
Fucking awesome.
Anyway,
let's move on.
the mage nods and, taking his pool of yarn, begin to unravel it as he walks through the portals. Step by step he approaches, and I see the flickering of magic begin. It buzzes and aches between my ears. By the time he reaches the portal, it's awake and alive. Around us, the mages are singing louder than ever. I'm sweating now, feeling the pressure rise in my whole body like I am the string, slowly getting stretched out further and further. It tightens around my wrist harder than shackles. Kinky. He walks through the portal. The trail of red yarn is stretched out between us. Everyone falls silent. After about 15 minutes, which is a hell of a fucking long time, I feel a tug.
That must be a pain. That must be a painful wait.
Like you're just hanging around and chilling, balls out for 15 minutes.
Yep.
Oh boy, I love this fucking art.
Oh, that's so good.
God, I know, right? Spore surges through the yarn into my body, lighting me up like a wither wave in a storm. I don't know what a wither vein is.
Wither vein. It's the little thing that sometimes is on top of a roof that's shaped like a cockerel. Hang on,
like a lighting rod?
Hang on, let me just get a picture of one.
Where's my fucking phone? It's on my back.
No, I've got it.
Because I'm gonna look up the picture. If you send me on Discord, I'm just gonna look up the picture of my phone, so I don't have to fuck up the recording.
That thing.
Oh, that bitch. Okay, yeah.
That bitch.
Okay. I know what the wither vein is now. I am poor fool. I stand rigid, like my dick reading this. Teeth grit and nostrils flaring, whole body shaking as I feel something move inside me.
To be fair, this is just as much my jam.
This is so far up our alley, my dude.
As soon as I heard about Crescent Rose, I was like, oh fuck, I need to stop procrastinating playing SRC and play it right the fuck now. Because, holy fuck.
Yeah, like...
And it was even more my jam than I even expected, than I ever dared to hope.
God, this game was fucking good.
Yep.
It travels through the string into the glowing heat of the portal door. Next to me, I hear a whisper. Very good. Thinking it's Glinda, I lift my bound wrist and make a questioning nose. But she doesn't respond. After a moment, I realize she's not even looking at me, and the voice doesn't have a British accent. Suddenly I realized it wasn't a deep-ass fucking voice. Said, whose voice was that? Mzee?
He's on his way back. 1 tug means all is fine, 2 means he needs more time, 3 is for an emergency.
Just as she finishes, the mage returns in a jumble of flames, falling to the ground and gasping. I do the same, falling back a few steps until Yang catches me. My chest rises and falls sharply with how hard I'm panting.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's done. The connection has been made. Now we can travel safely.
Can I take this off? I mean, the bound or just your everything?
That's not the time, Ruby. Save it for the bedroom.
I mean, I don't want to fuck Ruby, actually. I mean, I'm playing as Ruby, so that would be kind of weird, actually.
I mean, that hasn't stopped you before. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm so glad you're breaking this up, because I'm going to ship Crescent Rose and Ruby the fuck out in this game.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's basically Alpha Overlord Ruby and Ruby.
Well, I'd honestly describe as Crescent Rose and all that as invalidating the need for me to conclude Ruby Ritual, because frankly, it's better than what I could do with it, probably. Anyway.
I mean, that's very fair. That's very fair. I feel you. I'm still really glad you rode that much, though. This was a really enjoyable ride. Glinda nods, and Young helps me remove the yarn up from around my wrists. A group of younger apprentices helps us. Fuck! Then I catching him away without another word. A bite of sympathy stings me. I think he got the worst of it. The throbbing in my skull finally listened to a dull roar.
Wonder if, like, the binding there is kind of like a light version of being on the throne.
Oh, that would make sense. Like the yarn would be like an extension of the throne, sort of.
Yeah, because I mean, it's more like being, because it's being connected to Ruby and being connected to Crescent Rose through Ruby.
I mean, yeah, like Ruby's blood in itself is already an extension of like tight Crescent Rose and shit. So I'm guessing put it in an outlet, like magic and shit, you know.
Yeah. It wouldn't be as yeah, but I'd imagine the mage would be feeling something like what Osborne was feeling when it was on the throne. Not quite as bad because Ruby is in between, but still probably pretty rough. Anyway, they usually do. That's just part of the sacrifice. He's being well compensated for it, trust me. Are you ready to go through the portal, Rose?
I nod.
Good. I must stay on this side to watch over the gateway, at least for your first visit. And my connection to Crescent Rose still leaves me too vulnerable to travel through the portals at this time. If anything were to go wrong with the portals, we'd be better suited here.
Wait, what do you mean go wrong?
Well, let's just say I need to wait for the Rose Monarch to establish contact before further work can be done. Now watch me butcher this pronunciation.
I'm just saying Milkglass ever since I started Let's Play, so...
It looks like it could be Michglass.
Mitchglass?
Mitchglass is a trusted ally. You will be treated as an honored guest, and no danger will befall you. I trust you'll be able to cope without me?
Yeah, sure, my good dude. Sorry, I hope so. I mean, yes.
One more thing, the people of mid class are a little, what should we put this, brusque, meaning subtlety and tact are lost on them. Put more kindly, they tend to be very straightforward. Be brutally honest, and you'll do fine. You'll do fine.
Young and I step forward into the portal. Who the hell designed this thing? Sometimes I do the wrong voice for the wrong person.
Rip.
Summer was crude, but Young is voiced by Donald Duck. Who the hell designed that thing?
Oh god.
Come on, it wasn't that bad. A little weird, maybe, but it's like trying out new kinks in the bedroom. Oh, what the hell? I'm gonna be slick! Like, all this time I was trying to make out real voices for these characters, but actually I could just do that. Like in the previous videos I was trying to make different voices and shit, and I had a hard time, but I could just do that. I'm just gonna do that.
Oh god.
At least we made it through in one piece. Thanks, Ruby! I needed the reminder that many pieces was an option.
Oh god, please, no more.
But at least now we can differentiate my Ruby and my gang.
But it's too painful.
The first thing I notice when we come out of the portal is the cold. Icicles hang from the walls nearby, and the ground is completely covered in snow. This is awful. As a southerner, this is a fucking mood.
It's not that bad.
Fuck off, you're a North person. You're a Neeple.
Look, snow only really sucks after the first snowfall, when the cars and pollution have had time to turn all the snow into black sludge. That's when it's bad.
That is such a London thing to say.
Yeah. This, by comparison, is fine.
Honestly, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes a little chilly compared to the desert, but this place is bustingly cold.
Put on a shirt.
But that would be a crime against humanity to hide such abs.
I was just about to say something like that. No, you don't want to hide the abs, but put on a goddamn shirt.
A shirt of all weenies.
Her semblance probably keeps her warm anyway, so.
Yeah, that's neat. Just stay on fire all the time.
Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno.
All the ions in the fire.
Oh no. Gone Homestuck.
Fucking Homestuck. The portal is located on a training ground. A large wooden arena is off to the side. It's a pretty impressive sight. Soldiers run drills under the watchful eye of a crocodile, wild knights in full place in Flada. Most of the knights are fighting one-on-one. Polished weapons gleam and glinda, and not just from the side. Glinda did say they were good at using dust. Maybe as part of the negotiations, I can get them to teach us a new trick. The sound of ringing steel hits my ears, and I turn up to look. Most of the duelists have stopped to watch a group of 3 knights take on a single challenger.
Why must you be so extra?
I mean, if you could take on 3 people, wouldn't you?
I suppose. I bet Winter can take on 5, at least.
Big dick energy.
Yeah.
The lone fighter is a woman, with long white hair streaming behind her. Her armor is bare steel, plainer than most of the other knights I see, though there is a shimmer to it that indicates some sort of magic. All of that pales next to the fact that she's taking on all 3 opponents alone. And winning. Whoa! Yeah, look over there!
Ninjutsu.
I know over to the duel. One of the knights thrust Mzee, help me!
Thrusts at the white-haired woman's head.
Thrust at the white-haired woman's head, only to get parried aside as she dances around her opponent. The three keep trying to flank her, but every time they move, she darts aside. Can't touch this. God, I love you so much. She's making them attack on her terms, not theirs. Her offhand twists and draws a seagull in the air. At a word, ice fires from her... ice fires. Hey, hey. From her fingertips, trapping the feet of her opponents while she dealt with the other two. Not bad. It's not really the same as fighting a game, but she's definitely better than the drunk start she got.
You know, you're gonna listen to this as you watch this video back, and you're gonna go, "Oh no, I need to stop doing that voice for Yang."
I mean, all this time I was just trying to do a slightly deeper voice than what I usually have, but here I'm like, no, this time I can actually make the difference between Yang and everything else.
Yeah, but Yang sounds terrible.
But that's what you would have wanted.
It's true, but you shouldn't say it. Anyway.
Yeah, but that's a pretty low bar. Admit it, you're impressed. A soldier...
I'm probably a little turned on. Let's be real, yeah. You were thinking it.
I mean, who wouldn't be? I'm not into Weiss, but that would probably be really cool to watch. A soldier notices us and approaches. You wanna do the soldier or should I?
Your Majesty, I understand you are here to see the Duke.
Yes, totally, the Duke. Yep, exactly where we need to go.
If you and your companion will wait here a moment longer, I'll take you to him.
Of course. He bows and leaves. Well, who is the Duke anyway?
Oh, it's getting more squeaky every moment.
Good. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this next time I play, and I'm just gonna replace every single young sprite with a picture of Donald Duck.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
I already am gonna be playing Kingdom Hearts 3 in a few months. Like that's all the Donald I need. Thank you very much.
Every time Donald is on screen, imagine me instead, but like feathery instead of furry. Duke Guntram is a ruler of Midgard. Has been since my mother was a queen. You ever met him? I don't think so. There were a few knights who came through the portals, but none stayed for very long. They always look uncomfortable in Vale, like the city put them on the edge. Just then, the soldier returns.
Your Majesty, if I may?
Right. It's emptier than I thought it would be. Not that that's a bad thing. It's probably better that we do this with fewer people around. And if you were planning an ambush, you'd probably have more guards.
Announcing Her Majesty Ruble.
Alarmed, I shuffle closer to the soldier, getting up on the tip of my toes to whisper to his ear.
Her Majesty Ruby, the second of the Rose Dynasty, Queen of the Kingdom of Vital and surrounding territories, inheritor of the Rose Throne, defender of Vale.
Taking an inspiration from me, Yang grins hugely and grabs the soldier by the shirt, pulling him over to whisper her own instructions.
Stop, please. I'm dying. You're killing me first.
Next time if I fly my ass to your house, I'm just going to do this voice all the time. I'm gonna make your parents like this. Hello?
There will be repercussions. I will find a way to get back at you.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Obama?
Please don't encourage. Okay, you know what? If you do that, then I'll just give my dad permission to do his voices, and you do not want that.
Do it.
Okay.
Fight
Anyway.
me, Mzee. ...
Her Royal Highness Yang the 23rd of the Yang Xiaolong Confederacy, most revered Archduchess of the Western Expanse, Queen's Champion, and all around badass.
Look at the joke.
I apparently that sprite of him is "you seen this shit" .jpg.
Good shit. Seriously? I know he had to say it.
Let's move on. Moving on from that, it is not for every day that I invite foreign royalty into my hall. It's even less common since the portal's closed. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Oh shoot, what's the address for a duke again? Actually, I googled it the first time I played.
I actually knew this. One. Your Grace.
You nerd. Your Grace, it has been too long. I can't remember the last time our courts had the chance to meet. Mostly because I was like 5 at the time.
Yeah. Little under 10 years. The portal's closing made communication difficult. I had heard of your coronation, but I'll admit, I was not expecting the new monarch to visit this quickly.
If you had more time, I would have sent words ahead. Fuck.
Oh, oops.
Sorry. As it is...
I know. We've had reports of the grim attacks on your borders, so let us deal with the matter at hand. You are not here to mince words. You are here for soldiers. You are here to ask me to send my people to die, so that yours may live. Let's not pretend that this is anything else.
Well, yeah, my good bitch. Well, Ospin did say to be frank. Brutal honestly it is. I want you to honor the treaty our ancestors signed. I want you to send your knights to fight next to mine. Right now, my people are the only thing standing between the rest of the plains and Horde of Grims who'd been all too happy to explore new land. If we fall, the Grim won't stall too vital. Your plane is basically right next door. How long do you think before they come here? A month? A year? I want you to help so both our nations can survive this shit. We're going to lose people, but if middle-class warriors and engineers are as good as I've heard, having you on our side will mean that we lose a lot less. That'd be good.
I'll admit, I did not expect such fire or pragmatism from a child queen.
I am more than old enough to sit on the throne, Your Grace. And if I weren't, the burden of the crown would have crushed me before I had the chance to reopen the portals. Ruby takes no shit. I love that.
Yeah, unlike canon.
That's true, but you shouldn't say it.
Listen, if you didn't expect me to side-eye canon constantly, you shouldn't have brought me on this.
That's... You know what, that's very fair.
Indeed, it would have. I am not the kind of man to break my word, Ruby Rose. You will have your reinforcements. And a representative on your court as well. Unfortunately, the exact terms of our alliance may have to wait. There is a judicial matter that demands my attention.
Can I ask what crime is more important than a visiting monarch?
High treason, actually. One of my knights betrayed their sacred oaths and is about to be punished accordingly.
I see. Would it be alright if I watched? I'm sure our histories are a bit dated regarding middle-class legal rights.
I doubt it. Little changes in Mitch-class, whatever. I'm just gonna go with middle class as well, just for consistency's sake.
Returnable.
Come, we'll have 2 monarchs deliver judgment against this traitor. If we're lucky, maybe we'll even get some entertainment out of the ordeal.
Concerned, I whisper to Yang. What do you think he means by entertainment? Nothing good. Come on, we're not gonna find anything out just waiting around here. I'll be right behind you. The Duke nods to one of his attendants, and the servant throws the doors to the wall open. Well-dressed nobles funnel in, taking their places around the hall. The faces I see range from just side to plain furious. Furious?
Freudian slip right there.
I love furries. They're so good.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Whatever this knight did, they pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, they're actually on trial for doing a Donald Duck voice constantly. The death sentence is too good for them.
Oh god. I need to keep this voice for Yang consistently, so when Yang starts beating up Crescent Rose, it's going to be this shit.
Don't you ruin that scene for me, damn it. Don't you dare.
Oh god. I'll do my best to keep myself in check.
Okay.
Last to arrive is a pair of guards, dragging a slumped figure between them. A chain rattles every few steps, running from the manacles around the prisoner's wrist. The guards shove their captive to the middle of the wall, sending them sprawling. The prisoner lands on two knees with a thud, a curtain of dark hair swinging forward to block any recognizable features. All I can see is a strong jawline. I was going to make a joke, but it's really inappropriate.
Hold it in. Hold it in. Conceal, don't feel. I do not want to make Frozen. Well, I suppose now's the appropriate time to make Frozen references.
Let it go, let it go.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen the movie and will never see the movie.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's kind of overhyped, you know.
I know. It's at this point, it's a matter of principle.
Of course, obviously. So, all I can see is a strong jawline that would make a really sturdy place to sit on. Fuck, I made this joke! I told myself I wouldn't. With the faint impression of funnel burrs beneath one eye. You didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I heard quite a lot, in fact.
I mean, you probably should have expected that. So, Prisoner Gambison, the fuck is that?
It's a sort of.
Is it a piece of armor?
Not exactly. It's kind of like the sort of thing that goes under the armor, I guess. Kind of.
Okay. The prisoner's Gambison is ripped, just like her their arms, with broken straps dangling off the jacket. It looks like someone ripped the armor off and didn't bother to be careful. The prisoner straightens as far as the manacles will allow them and stares calmly up at the throne, ignoring the hushed whispers of the crowd surrounding us. Every time you see THR in a word, I want you to picture me swearing behind my screen and just screaming. Because mood. Looks less angry than I expect. Resigned is more like it. Actually, I should do the noble, so we can do Lancelin and the Duke.
Wait, okay.
All rise for His Grace Gundam of Olberg and Her Majesty Ruby Rose of Vital. A sea of courtiers stand to face me and the Duke as we take our seat to the head of the wall. I will so never get used to that.
Proceed.
With respect, Your Grace, Lancelin Schaffer has... The correct address for a knight is a Sere. Oh hey, new music! I didn't notice.
Huh.
It's that knight from the training ground. She looks so freshly scrubbed after a bout in the field, her hair still damp from a bath. I think that's about the only character who has a sprite that is more or less the size of Ruby.
Yeah, she should be like. It would be more accurate to have her like. Okay, wait. With any other ship, I usually prefer Ruby to be the short one, but when ship with Weiss, I always want Ruby to have this huge growth spurt, and for Weiss to be like way shorter than her.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
Though surprised, the noble keeps collected in the face of the sudden interruption. Sir Schnee, this trial is based on the fact that this Shepherd is no knight. Isn't it a bit early to collect a fact when your Duke hasn't even passed judgment yet? The knight looks at me sharply. Exactly. And until Sir Lancelot is sentenced, you will address my knight by the proper title, you fucking hoe. Or should I take it as an insult against my own honor? Do you want to fight? Meet me in the pit. I don't give a fuck. I will take 5 of you.
And you're doing Minnie Mouse for Weiss.
Look, I have 2 voices, okay? I have my voice and I have voice like that. And maybe I can do like that, but I just discovered that 5 minutes ago. That's why I needed someone else to do more voices for me. Because there are only so many I can make. I also find it more interesting that you choose to expedite the trial without informing me. I believe the trial date was supposed to be next week, no? The noble turns his nose up. Sir! He rolls his eyes and I can almost hear the quotation marks around the word. Sarah's knee bristles and her hand tightens around her hilt, but she keeps her silence. Lancelin.
This noble guy is like 2 steps away from death.
Yeah, he's staring at death in the face, and she doesn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Lancelin stands accused of falsifying a noble lineage. That they, a commoner, had no chance above the station and tried to faithfully claim the honor of a true-born knight. This commoner deceived the knight commander, their comrades, and your grace. For that alone, any of our knights should be stripped of their title. But it is.
You have made your point, magistrate. Be seated. Do you have anything to say in your defense, Lancelin? No, your grace. Only that I did what I had to do so I could serve my plane. Sir Schnee?
Sir Lancelin is as good as any I've trained, and loyal to a fault. They deserve a knighthood as much as the rest of my troops.
If only that were true.
It's time to speak up. Why does it matter that Lancelin... I mean Sir Lancelin... why does the title matter?
Only nobility are allowed to earn knighthood.
Why? Is someone a good fighter? Wouldn't it be better to have them protecting you?
Yeah. The noble families are sworn to me for a reason. They've proven that they're worth time and time again. More importantly, they know that if any member of their house betrays the crown, the entire family will be exiled, and their rank given to someone more worthy. It tends to keep them in line.
That does sound effective.
Why must you do this to Yang?
Give me one character who is more worthy of this voice than Yang. Nora. Aside of Nora and Yang.
You wouldn't inflict that on Nora.
No, because I want to fuck her.
Yeah, it's true, but you shouldn't say it.
Like, is there anyone I should give this voice to aside of Yang?
John.
No, because I already have a voice for Joan. And by voice, I mean I'm just going to say all his lines in French. I'm just going to translate everything, like, fuck this shit.
Okay, I've got someone else, Torchwick.
That is very valid. You are very right. Okay, I have a new voice for Yang. Next time she speaks up, she'll tell me what you think of it.
Is it gonna be worse? Right.
Maybe. You'll be
Antolin Schaefer. You deceived your fellow knights and this court to achieve your own desires. Your actions broke the trust placed in you, your peers, and your commanding officer. That alone makes you a disgrace to the knights who have gone before you. Yours is an honorable ambition. I'd even call it a valorous one, but it is not your place to wish for such an honor. Therefore, I hereby banish you from this court to die in the frozen wastes beyond our borders.
Mythical Glass is kind of like Game of Thrones, with like the walkers and shit.
It's like, I imagine they must be a pretty freaking small nation if most of their kingdom is just frozen wastes all year round.
I mean, I'm guessing half of it at least is like fucking bitch-ass ball-busting cold and unhabitable because, you know, Mirtnasti is split in half.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the only reason why they're this they're this successful is purely because of the wealth that's come in because of their dust trade.
Probably, honestly, because I don't think they can produce a lot of crops and shit. They probably import a lot.
Yep.
Your Grace!
Silence. I am not without reason. Antolin, you will be taken to the Hall of Judgment. There you will face one of our guardians of old in trial by combat. In the unlikely event that you win, I will give you your shield. Lose, and whatever is left of your mangled body will be exiled. You wanted to be a knight? This is your one chance.
Suddenly, Ser Schnee stands up, blasting with barely restrained fury. I invoke my right as Lanceling Commander!
It's Fury, not Furry-verse.
Oh, that was actually unintentional. I'm French, leave me alone!
You're also a furry.
I am a furry-ench!
A furry that has been well documented to make those kinds of puns.
It is very true.
No, Commander!
Hold your tongue.
Your tongue.
Tongue! Fun fact, in French, tongue means like flip-flops? You know, the shoes?
Oh, those things, yeah.
Your Grace, Sir Lancelin's crime happened under my command. I am responsible for my knights, and I will fight in their stead.
Sir Schnee, I hope that you know that if you lose, you will both share the same fate.
Did I fucking stutter? What do you mean this isn't what she said?
Huh. I suppose it is your choice to make.
You know, I just noticed, but the Duke has like those feather thing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's also a nod to fucking Mirtnasti.
Yeah. I'd imagine that since Mirtnasti, it's kind of interesting that the Duke's the one in command instead of Weiss's family, considering that Mirtnasti is connected to Weiss's bloodline, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
So, I think that's pretty neat. I guess that probably is a result of the fact that it doesn't have the same throne arrangement.
Yeah, honestly, like a lot of things, like there's not a throne arrangement. Like there's probably historical meddling happening, and Mirtnasti is still split in half. So.
Jeez, I imagine it would be really. if someone with bad intentions inherited Crescent Rose, it would actually be very easy for them to like conquer most of the other realms, because like they control all of the trade between realms. They can send soldiers in, but the other planes can't retaliate because they won't be able to send soldiers back. And yeah, in general, it would be rough.
Yeah, it would be bad. But that makes sense because Crescent Rose is the oldest, who is that one on the beach.
Yeah, and also the whole bloodline thing does make Crescent Rose the most powerful out of all of them, except for obviously Lunafractor.
Yeah.
Take them.
A cadre of the guards escort Lancelin away. I can see them try to reach out to Sershni once last time, a look of beseechment shining bright in their eyes. Turning their head aside, the Knight Commander paid them no mind. She marches out of the hall, several of her knights rising to follow her. We move into the corridor leading to the Hall of Judgment. Two huge and armored knights escort Sershni at the front of the crowd, one on each side. The Duke and his entourage of old nobles follow after them, silent as a grave. Sir Lancelin trudges along behind, the rattling shackles at their wrists a grim punctuation to every step. Do they all have to be so quiet? Young and I bring up the rear, followed by the knights supposedly under the Duke's command. I think they want to support Sir Lancelin and Sershni more, though. Sershni doesn't look afraid at all. Right. Look, Sir Lancelin over there looks more scared than Sir Sneeze is.
You know what, fair, it's better. It's an improvement.
Like, you have the choice between Ruby but Frenchier or Donald Duck.
Yeah, you know what, that's fine.
I had a Weiss and jab Yang with an elbow. Like when I started this video, someone commented on them by saying, "You are very French." Mm-hmm. And they are really right, but I can be even Frenchier, and that's what I'm going to do. It's Schnee, Yang. Oh, jeez, sorry about that. These names are a little hard to say. Fucking mood! God, me playing this fucking game. Me speaking English anytime. No offense.
None taken. I mean, your numbers are worse than anything our language could ever produce, though.
True and fair. A tense silence settles again as we're led further down. The hallway splits, and Sershni is immediately shuffled to the right, while the rest of us are herded to the left. This all seems too sudden. My mouth opens as I turn my head to follow Sershni's path. Wait, Sershni! The three knights stop and turn to look at me over their shoulders. Sershni's expression is one of expectation, maybe a little impatient too, or annoyance at being stopped. I swallow my words at first. After I take a deep breath to steady myself, I manage to continue.
Don't die.
Guess I lie. Like, honestly, the remaining silence is stupid since you're already called for her, and good luck out there is just fucking naive. Just go straight to the point.
Yeah.
I order you not to die.
It's a pretty obvious pick here.
Yeah. Ruby, don't die. Weiss, that's not up to me. Ruby, that's an order though. Weiss, I have a boner. Like, honestly, that's not what happens.
Weiss is a bottom. Change my mind.
Ruby is a top. Change my mind. That's a whole Penny Ruby route, though. That's literally you and your GF are both top. What happened? Don't die. Sershni stares up at me for a few seconds, processing my command. Before I can start beating myself up over my blunt words, the corner of her lips quirk in what might be a smile. She dips her head in a slight nod, the most acknowledgement I've seen from her, and then her escorting knight starts bullying her back down the wall. Despite the silence, my chest somehow feels a little lighter. It's the gay. Mzee!
Oh, sorry. We don't usually wish criminals luck here in with glass, Your Majesty.
Middle class is so weird. The Hall of Judgment looks like a giant cathedral more than any kind of court. Oh, this is gonna be super cool. I love this part. The ceiling looms high above us, its massive glass dome covered in a thick coat of frost. Arched windows of stained glass frame the other room on the other side, running its length from left to right. They seem to depict various parts of a grim tale. I see a girl with black hair and a regal gown taken to the wood by a huntress. That sounds really gay.
Mm-hmm. What did you expect?
I mean, honestly true. The next window showcases the same girl rescued by 7 knights in intricate armor, their pauldron adorned with a crest in the shape of a snowflake. The next image that catches my eye looks like a woman with gnarled antlers and the outline of a crowd above her head. Her skin is a dark red, blood maybe, and she wears a pitch black robe. That might be Luna Fracta actually. Or like something like that.
Could be.
I mean, the game's vague as shit, and like, obviously any tile you see is going to be false.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Just times the bitch, look at it. I see a hand extends an apple to the girl. Some old Asian, perhaps? A sudden blinding pain stabbed me right between the eye. Crescentworth's theme is really fucking neat. I feel them begin to water, my entire body trembling as if my bones were trying to rip their way out from beneath my skin. This is my shit.
Yeah.
I stumble. My heart pounds between my ears, deafening me to silence. I cannot scream. My blood is fire. God! Ah!
I love how it's like, my blood is fire.
Yeah, it's like, it's not on fire, it's not like fire, it is fire. God, I'm so fucking weak to fire allegories, my good dude!
Yeah.
I'm gay.
You very much are.
A voice I've never heard breathes into the shell of my ear, dripping venom with every word. Not a legend, a falsehood.
Crescent Rose calling bullshit.
Really? A warm hand clamps onto my shoulder, fingers close in firm grip. Firm. Young's voice brings me back to my senses. Yes? Looking away from the windows helped me recover, grounds me into the here and now. You look weird. You okay? My crown has never felt heavier. I keep forgetting she's supposed to wear one since her sprite doesn't have one. Or maybe it's just metaphorical all the way through. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's meant to be wearing a crown. It's just the stain of her updates of the sprite.
Yeah, like in the game files, all her sprites are called Ruby without a crown.
Yeah,
So
they just never made one. That's fair enough.
I mean, that's fair. The game took 4 years to make. I can't really blame them for.
Yeah. The only thing that I wish they had done was give Velvet a sprites.
Yeah, that's a mood. Like
I mean, for fuck's sake, Sun gets one, and he's even less important than Velvet.
Yeah, like I get why they didn't give Velvet one, but yeah.
It was.
Like toward the end, I think they were we're not using any new assets.
Yeah.
Which fair enough.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm gonna have to find someone to commission to have some sweet Reno by.
Well, I mean, Gray's done plenty of fan art of the the couple of scenes where Velvet's a badass. So.
That's true. Great, did some good. Honestly, all the artists on the SRC tag are so fucking good. Like, I love how every word. Like, I shouldn't go off track like that. I'm supposed to play the game.
Yeah.
My crown never felt heavier. I'm fine. Just hearing voices, which is totally normal. Who fucking cares anyway? I think I might collapse, but collapsing is for the weak, and the weak dies young. When Young takes her hand back, I fight not to wobble on my feet. I fight to not wobble on my feet.
Ruby needs sleep.
Ruby needs a hug. If you say so. A visiting queen does not vomit on allied nobles, Ruby. I mean, she could if she wasn't a coward.
Not with that attitude.
Get a grip! Keeping my gaze low, I shake my head and busy myself with studying the rest of the chamber. The room is an oval, everything inside chiseled from black marble. We are ushered towards rows of seats. The arrangement seems to adhere to our rank. I sit at the higher tier with Yang and the Duke. Perks of being a queen, I suppose. From the vantage point, I make out what looks like a raised platform and an orchestra pit? People in black and white robes fill into the pit and into the choral platform just above. They wear cold masks, featureless but somehow familiar. Yang leans close to me, muttering in my ear. They kinda look like the wizard back home, don't they? You think so too, huh? Each member of the choir hums in perfect harmony. I don't understand a word of it. Mood. Me in class.
Like that kind of reminds me of how going off topic, the soundtrack for Nier. It sounds like they're singing something super dramatic in like Latin or something, but it's actually completely made up gibberish and doesn't actually mean anything.
Become our gods. Become our gods.
Well, that's.
I mean, this one is in English, yeah, but I had heard that the other one.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Their music is different from anything I've heard before. Equal parts haunting and joyful.
Mm-hmm.
A far cry from the wild tempos and fast-paced drums in the Xiaolong tribe. As they sing, something strange begins to happen. Is that light? Motes of soft light luminescence rise from their lips, drifting aimlessly upward. Like fireflies, almost. Oh, whoa. So the magic on Midglass is language-based too?
Correct, Your Majesty. Unlike Vale's language, our mystical tongue is far more of a challenge to learn. That means it's not as good. If it's harder to learn, then that's worse for a language.
I mean, I had someone once tell me that like the more complicated a language is, the more cultural shit you can take out of it. But
yeah, that's true. But I think well, not for language in general, but like for a magic using language, that should be easy to learn. At the very least, you should be able to learn the basic stuff easily.
Yeah. I detect a strong note of patriotic pride in his voice, and I almost pout at him. In what way?
You'll see in a moment.
Without saying a word, not even an introduction, the stern-faced conductors turn to us. The room goes quiet. After bowing to the audience, they turn around and regard both chorus and orchestra with a handful of tense moments. This is the oddest trial by combat I've ever seen. Just go fistfight the orchestra, just do it. What if it was just like a band fight? Where you have like 3 hours to find yourself a K-pop team.
Oh my god.
and just do a fight. Like there's a Ruby Chibi episode about that actually, where it's like Battle of the Bands, and basically the episode is like Cinder, Roman, and all the evil guys try to get together to do some sick ass music, and all the other team members are like, "What the fuck are you doing? It's a battle of the band." You're literally here to fight. It's a fighting school. And they're like, oh, my bad. Which was actually pretty funny.
Yep.
A sudden flick of their wrist sends a shower of golden sparks rushing towards the dome above us. The entire room goes pitch black, air resonating with the sound of slow and steady hums. I feel Yang tense up next to me. A moment later, Steshni takes center stage. The look on her face is one of absolute determination. It fills her with determination. She stands without moving, the subtle cant of her head casting a dramatic shadow across the sharp, regular lines of her face. Though the penalty should be death, is death. You have chosen trial by combat in lieu of requesting a formal stay of execution. It is correct, Knight Commander? Yes! Should you fail, both yourself and Lancelot must forfeit your lives. Is this understood? Ice blue eyes stared into the darkness. Her lips move, but none of us hear what she says. Probably something really rude. Excuse me? Her blade hums as he unsheathes it from her belt. Sire, Lancelot! For fuck's sake! In the light, both woman and weapon shine. Her hair seems to glow silver, the dark of her eyelashes in stark contrast with her pale skin. I have never been gayer. Insult one of my...
It's a really good CG.
I know, right? It's fucking good. Insult one of my knights again, only if you wish to join me in the arena. Meet me in the fucking pit! An undercurrent of whispers flies through the assembly. Though the announcing noble is full of bluster and righteous indignation, a gesture from the Duke quiets the crowd.
Begin.
The fighting music is also really good. Then, some hidden cue inspires every violin and solo to action. Several voices within the core also shift to a higher pitch, holding the note like a shaft of brilliant light flares into the existence before us. The orchestra and chorus swell at his command. The music they create radiates out in palpable waves. I still can't understand a word of it, but how it hits us feels different somehow. More electric. I lean over and whisper to Yang. But where's her opponent? I look in time to catch Sereshni bow to the dark. As she does, a circle of light at her feet begins to extend, stretching from where she's standing until it joins another at the far end of the room. Yang's hand covers my mouth as I gasp. The new source of light reveals an armored figure kneeling in wait before the Knight Commander. What in the world? Sereshni is dwarfed several times over as the figure stands to its full height. So, to be fair, Sereshni would be dwarfed several times over by a lot of people. The handle on that sword is bigger than she is. This is what they mean by trial by combat? How is she even gonna move? At that size, an entire suit of armor will have to weigh hundreds, if not thousands of pounds. I'm French, I don't know how many pounds that is in kilogram.
It's a lot. It's a very heavy.
Oh boy.
The knight shall carry out its task without fault. Of that, there's no question.
I don't understand. So another knight fights Sereshni for the kingdom while she's defending the life of another knight of the kingdom?
It's just knight. The K is silent. No.
Yes, but I'm trying to be French right now.
Oh, jeez.
Like, if you're French, you don't say a knife or a knight, you say a knife or a knight. There's no one in the suit. What? It's magic. It's a giant empty suit of armor powered by the singer's magic. On an entirely technical scale, this is amazing. I bite my lip. I'm gay. I have a bad feeling about this. So it's her versus, what, your entire falsetto goon squad? Gang. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the Knight Commander bow to her opponent.
Sershni knew full well what risks awaited her.
The Knight gives no warning before attacking. Fast! Spinning on her heel, it lashes out with an overheard chop slanted directly at Sershni. There's no hesitance behind the movement, only every intent to heal. Its weapon is a blur. I can't watch this. The Knight Commander, however, has a look of supreme disinterest on her face. She's going to tsundere her way out of it. She waits until the last moment to dodge, somersaulting backward to avoid her opponent's first blow. Yeah, that's it! Adderall! The Knight reverses its grip without stopping. Even removed as I am from the action, the sheer power behind its next attack slaps me in the face with a gust of wind. How can it move like that? Horrified, I realize the next move isn't going to be as fortunate for Sershni. Though Sershni dodged its second and third blow, a quick snap of her fourth sends her flying backward in a shower of sparks. That did not look pretty. At least she landed on her feet. I'm amazed the Knight Commander hasn't been launched through the far wall. Is that the best you can do? Sershni raises her weapon to her opponent. The rapier gleams in the light. When she uses force to attack, its reflection is like quicksilver whistling through the air. I've met novices with better from! Her first strike takes the massive figure just as... fuck. Mzee, did you remove your earbuds?
My what? No, they're still there.
Okay. I just heard my voice back. Fucking, I hear my echo right now. Hold on. Is it a problem with the record? Well, it's going now, so it was just really jarring for a second, like, ooh. Hearing your own voice back is weird.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah, blast of magic shot forward from the tip of her sword, knocking the figure back. Unbalanced, in stumbling out and to escape the multitude of thrusts, Sershni rains down on it. Nice! Sershni wastes no time in pressing her advantage. As the Knight falters, she leaps between its arm and vaults from its chest in a graceful backward arc. The woman is a blur of white and silver on the stage. Her sigil allows her to strike anywhere and from any direction. She ravages the Knight, striking it until she stumbles unbalanced from foot to foot. Once, twice, thrice! Her rapier stings nearly 5 times in an instant, each blow sending white hot sparks flaring across the stage. Something that big won't go down easily, but even if he keeps it off balance, it isn't enough. The Knight recovers just as Sershni attempts to pierce the hollow of its knees. Rather than fall, it grabs its blade in a reverse grip and tears the weapon free of the stage in an upward slash. A torrent of debris, a torrent of rubble sent hurtling in every direction. Oh my. Duck! Sorry, duck! I can do its voice just for this line. Yang moves before I do, throwing her arms in front of me as the moment happens. I expect chaos, screaming, a rush of bodies in the dark, each intent of saving themselves from the upcoming barrage of the rebels. But nothing comes our way, not even a pebble. Mzee, you up?
Yeah, 1 second. You've got nothing to worry over, Your Majesty.
The Duke has yet to tear his eyes away from the battle. He gestures to the stage once I settle back into my seat, Yang beside me.
We are well protected.
I follow his gestures back to the stage. There, in the dark, I find what looks to be a faint light coursing across the edge of the battleground. Their battle is a contest of inches. For every step the Knight takes, Sershni moves 5. She refuses to engage the thing on its terms, rushing about the stage in a dizzying mix of acrobatics and footwork. I'm exhausted just looking at it. They're deadlocked if this keeps up. Something's gotta give. The Knight can't match her pace. Whenever it attempts to close the distance, Sershni merely leaps out of reach and punishes it for overextending. But a single misstep is all it takes. Sershny dives headlong into the fray after unbalancing her opponent yet again, her rapier sipping fatal purchase in the space between the knight's mail and helm. Oh, wait! Dropping its weapon momentarily, the knight throws the unbalanced portion of his body counterclockwise. Sershny barely has enough time to brace herself. As it rolls, her opponent reclaims its dropped blade and intercepts the knight commander mid-dash. Yang sucks in a breath through her teeth. Though Sershny manages to land on her feet again, momentum carries her further backward still, the iron at her grave screaming as it grinds devout into the floor. My mouth drops at what happens next. The knight leaps from one end of the stage to another, the sheer massive side of it cracking the onyx beneath its feet. As it drops, Sershny dwarfs in its shadow, the massive bang! Excepting the air entirely. The entire room quakes from the power behind the strike. Do you think she... The stage is in ruins. When the cloud of dust clears, I see two giant slabs of broken onyx have risen around the night. Shards of debris are still raining down from the ceiling.
The repair bill must be insane.
Yeah.
If this happens every single time they have a trial.
That's why no one ever gets an attorney, because the money has to go to repair the building.
Jeez, no one. I mean, I guess if middle class is as rich as they say, they can afford this.
Yeah, that's fair. No one speaks. Even members of the core has stopped at this song. Oh no. I'm out of my seat before I realize I'm moving. Yang and the Duke are hot on my heels as we head down to the chamber floor. Rubble lies in the sporadic plies across the marble floor, deep grooves and devots left behind where the knights fought. As we get to the bottom, one pile of debris shifts, revealing the sheen of armor. Sershny? More of the wreckages crumble away, and my heart sinks to see one massive hand emerging from the destruction. The knight comes free get up on all four as the bits of broken marble shift, revealing a small shape crumbled underneath. Sershny struggles through her hands and knees as the knight moves aside, freeing her from the debris. A gash across one eye drips blood down her face, pulling in the corner of her mouth and the crevice of her dinged and dented armor. The knight commander straightened out, stumbling away to safety before turning to face the construct. Drawing her sword once more, she lifts it, pointing at the construct. The tip of her sword wavers with an unsteady hand. Another round! She wipes her face off on her shoulder, but the cut on her face continues to bleed freely. Head injuries really bleed a lot, in general.
Yeah.
Blinking, she licks her lips and hoarsely cries out again. I still draw breath! The fight is not over! Mzee, help me raise my voice.
Enough of this farce, says she. You forget your place. Is it any wonder those under your command spit in the face of our laws and traditions?
I remember my place well. It is that the night of mage glass, and as a result, I stand by my decision. I swore on oath to treat those who serve me with honor and dignity. Any punishment that would be delivered unto them should be given to me instead. So kill me! I offer my life in place of my knight.
By all rights, Lancelin should not be a knight.
Yeah, but like you're still giving them a nice punishment.
That is of no concern to you. However, since Sir Schnee is so adamant about receiving Lancelin's punishment, then I shall indulge her. You, sir, have lost the duel. As such, with all the authority of my office, I banish Weiss Schnee and Lancelin Schaefer from the kingdom.
Stepping forward, he grips Weiss by her upper arm, pulling her close. He speaks slower, so that only those of us on the platform can hear.
Consider this a mercy, my debt to your father repaid.
He lets her go with a shove, raising his voice.
Guard, escort these castless out beyond our lands.
Man, I know you didn't play Dragon Age,
Mm-hmm.
but basically in the dwarf storyline, there's this one thing where you're like, basically you're a caste-left dwarf, which is to say you don't exist legally,
Yeah.
and you fuck up big time, so you're supposed to get killed, and the only out you have is running out to the surface, which makes you worse than casteless. It's like you can never come back. I mean, obviously you come back later, but that is actually a pretty sad storyline. I tell you another day.
I allow you to keep whatever you can carry on your back, Schnee.
This is too much. I can't just stand here and let it happen. Your Grace! The nobles all turn to look at me. The Duke glares much harder than before. Sershny's eyes widen in surprise, but then narrow in suspicion. Your Grace, I believe that I have a solution to your problem. It also resolves the matter that caused me to come into your plane in the first place. Mzee.
And what is the solution you propose, Your Majesty?
And sorry, it's just my throat hurt from talking too much. So I'm like, anytime you speak up, I'm like, yes, please, take some voice, some words out of me.
We should probably wrap up soon.
Yeah, like I'm just gonna recruit Weiss real quick, and we're gonna end here because I think this is like already an hour long.
As soon as we're out of mixed class, we should stop.
Yeah. Since Sershny is to be exiled by Schmidglass, I would request that she joins me in Vale as a member of my court. She will not be here to cause further trouble to you, and in doing so, you would honor the ancient agreement we have to have a Midglass noble in my court.
You... what? No, her punishment has been decided. It must be carried out.
Your Grace, my punishment is exile. Does it matter where I go, so long as I am gone? Yeah, so she should come with me. I turned to Sershny. I think it's reasonable of you to disband your knight like that. I would be honored to have you join my court and represent Midglass. Young pulls me aside. Are you sure, Ruby? She seems a little stubborn. You're worried about someone being stubborn? Fair point. She's protecting someone she cares about, Yang. I knew you would relate. I raised my voice for all to hear. That's the kind of person I want on my side. On our side. I thank you for your trust. If my Duke consents, then I will join you.
Are you certain that you want her, Your Majesty? There are people who are equal in prowess and less recalcitrant.
Oh, I do want her, yeah. Oh, you meant in my court. Sershny scolds, but she doesn't disagree. Weiss is like, it's true, but you shouldn't say it. I don't know what that word means, but I'm certain I'd like Weiss. And Leslin too.
Please, Commander, take us along as well.
Turning away from her, I'm surprised to find 6 of Sershny's knights staring back at me, a determined look in their eyes. Sershny speaks up before I can say anything, though. You fools! Think of your families! What purpose would going to exile serve?
They know we are sworn to you, with more than words. They will understand. You need people you can trust at your back. Who better than us?
That last bit is directed to the Duke, as if daring him to say something. The Duke does not, but simply stares at us in silent disapproval.
Just get out of my sight.
Sershny's mouth, opening for a retort, clicks shut. She seems a bit resigned, but eventually nod. Do you need to make any preparation? Say goodbye?
We have already taken care of that, Commander.
Already? You assumed I was going to fail, Tristan? At that, all the knights shift about on their feet, sheepish. But they don't dare to look away.
You do tend to take on tasks with very slim chances of success, Commander.
You!
Never mind that, Commander. You can only carry what's on your back, but we'll gather things from your quarters and meet you there.
The nightingale grins down at Weiss, looking positively roguish.
And admit it, you'd miss us, wouldn't you?
There she scolds, but somehow it seems a little softer as she glares at all her knights. Don't think we're finished discussing this. The knights ignore her tone, only snapping a salute.
As you say, Commander.
There's a flurry of activity as her knights and a handful of squires ready themselves for departure, marching out of the doors and away from the arena. Young tapped me on the shoulder. Really? Where are they gonna stay?
Stop.
There's some empty barracks and stables. I figured we'll house them over there for now, and build them more if we need to. Seriously can stay at the castle, since she's a formal representative. Were you thinking ahead? Your Majesty.
You said you were done.
It's the end of the video. I have the right to go back to Goofy Voices.
You don't. No, you don't.
It's like past midnight for you. I'm allowed to make Goofy Voices. And Scott returns his best to the portal after snapping the shackles from Lanson's wrists. The Duke stops Seriously before she goes through.
One sec. Sorry. And what shall I tell your father when he returns from the expedition to the mines?
She gives him a scornful look. Look out for yourself. No, sorry, I've made the decision for him, and my sister is the sole remaining heir. And then she's gone. Fuck this shit, I'm out. I find I can't look poorly at the Duke's face in her wake, and so only offer him a small bow before passing through the portal. And I'm gonna end here.
I need to sleep.
Yeah, mood.
Yeah, next time let's do this a bit early in the day, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm stopping the video here. Where is my fucking... Okay. Stopping here.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Thank you, Mzee, for joining. Love you.
Yay.
Have a good sleep.
Yay.